This video is sponsored by sellcashier.com. They compare iPhone prices on the internet and give you their instant quote and the most cash for your iPhone. Hey guys, this is Ed with Aquarium. So with the recent release of the newest generation of iPhones, which is generation 7, the Chinese manufacturers are not that far behind, so they actually released something that they claim to be an iPhone 7, but in fact it probably isn't. So we're going to see that in just a minute. One of the other things that I do expect out of this is the hallmark of third-party manufacturers' mail packaging with tape. Alright, let's take a look here. So we have this box that says iPhone 7, and we can actually go ahead and compare it to the original boxes by Apple of real iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. The size does not match either one of them, so you can tell the difference, right? So this is the Plus, this is the regular one. Now, let's go ahead and set these aside for a second. Just go ahead and open it up and see what it looks like on the inside, and I'm assuming that it's going to slide out regularly. The box looks a little beat up, probably after being in the mail. And here it is, traditional bubble packaging, and it is a Plus version of an iPhone to which the tape is really stuck onto, which is now stuck to my finger. So let's go ahead and get rid of that and take off all screen protectors so we can just glance at it. Well, saying taking off the screen protector is not exactly correct, as all these phones come with a fairly well mounted, without any bubbles, screen protector. So let's go ahead and turn it on, and we'll hope that the battery is somewhat charged so we can sort of compare the real one and look at the fake one and see how they compare to each other. So first and foremost, the way they look, the shape is identical. It's completely 100% identical. It just vibrated as it's turning on. The dimensions are absolutely the same. However, the movement of the silence button is completely, or the silence switch is completely different from the real one. And let's take a look. It boots up pretty quickly, and it looks very close, extremely close, except that we do have a difference in colors, and I'm going to go ahead and take this off over here. This is really not supposed to be there. Alright, now it's fully unpackaged, and let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of features. I'm just going to take a second to go ahead and turn up the brightness. This works very surprisingly well compared to all the other ones that I've seen before. It's definitely not a real one, but it works fairly quickly, and it's very responsive to touch. So let's take a look at that. Now, the screen brightness is absolutely not a match. So if you look at this real 7 Plus over here, it looks as if all the icons are completely on the surface of the screen, whereas here it looks a little bit more dim, and it looks like you do get stereo speakers on here, but I highly doubt that its high quality sound is announced by Apple on the real iPhone Plus. Definitely not the same layout. All right, so let's go ahead and do a recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the camera on both of these, and we'll see how much delay we're getting either one of these. A much slower processing power on the right, on the fake device. Does not take the snapshots as quickly. And we're going to take a look at the pictures and see how quickly it does the recall, and it takes a while to actually hit it here, and it's not willing to pull up the gallery, so it's completely not functioning here. There you go. So it took a while to come up. Let's go ahead and cancel out of that. So if we're looking at the snaps that we already took, not the screen clarity, not the picture clarity, none of it is a good match to the real 7 Plus. One of the other things is that you have a very characteristic click that you obtain when you push the button. Here you don't, you get a mechanical click from just how the button is made. So let's go ahead and try closing out of these apps and see how quickly that happens. And that's actually pretty smooth in both of them. And they're claiming that the capacity is 115.2 gigabytes. So the version is 9.3.1. We can only assume what the version of that is and where all these numbers are coming from. Gonna come out of that, and let's take a look here real quick. If we open the screen, see the difference. That's a major difference, so that really shouldn't be happening. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what we see in the App Store, a so-called App Store, which really is probably not an App Store. Oh, and speaking of the camera as well, I just want to point out a couple of things here. So you're looking at a real one right now, and it looks like you have two cameras. It would be very, very hard to test these two to see if both of them are operational, but I'm actually going to be very, very surprised if they were. And most likely one is a mock camera. I'm sure they're not synchronous in any way like they are on a real Plus. Alright guys, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to open up the App Store on both of these so we can take a look and see what both of them look like. And if you look at the interface here, it looks much better than on the previous ones. But look at the apps and games for iPhone 6. This is definitely a mock store. This is a custom built interface, but all the games on here are basically Android. There is your map. So we're going to hide this right here. So clearly what you see on the right is a fake. We're not suspecting anything other than this because it was a third-party manufacturer out of China, and we're not questioning that this is truly an Android that's pulling the data for us from AutoNavi and others, as it says on the bottom here. Let's look at the messaging interface. First thing that comes up is an interface that's a little bit different here. So what you see on the right is where it says messages, and it clearly prompts you to create a new message. This is actually very close. I will ignore that the layout is just a little bit different. It looks okay, but not what we would expect out of a real iPhone. If you ever come across one of these, think twice before you get it. Now you kind of understand how they're different. I want to digress a little bit for a second and sort of put this down so we can just go ahead and take a look at, and did you notice how quickly it flips? The older generation fakes were not as agile, so there's definitely more processing power that we see today that we've seen about a year and a half ago when I released that very first video of the fake iPhone 6 Plus. Bubble wrap is something that you should definitely not be concerned with when you get a real iPhone and a bunch of pseudo-legal materials, and this is all you get. It looks like you get a charging station, you get a flimsy, very flimsy by the way, cord, and then if you take that out, I just lost, like what the f, I just lost the SIM removal tool. I'm not going to worry about lifting that up, but you don't get any headphones. So as you may know, the real iPhone comes with the headphones. Now let's take a look at the phone interface. Now the phone interface is very close to what it should be, although I did find a couple of differences here. All it is just you're looking at the upper band here where it says no SIM or no service, but the layout and the font is a little bit different. Middle part is almost identical in the layout, except the thickness of the concentric circles that surround the numbers. And then here on the bottom, you will have the keypad as the rightmost option on a fake, which is the second to your right option on the real one. So again, it's a failure and we're not expecting anything else out of it. Let's go ahead and take a look on the outside one more time. The dimensions here are quite precise and quite accurate. If you look at the lines here on the fake, the white over here is a little bit thicker, which you may not be able to see precisely on your screens right now. Let's look at the back. You have the quad flash over here on the real one. What it looks like over here, it looks just one LED light. So this is all you're expecting as far as the flash. So let's go ahead and open that up. This is so much more pleasant, although it is so much more expensive. So if you were considering for something less expensive that looks like an iPhone, yeah, this is probably the way to go, but I would solely recommend getting a real one. I mean, get a previous generation, get a 6 Plus, get a 6S Plus. Don't go for this knockoff, because you will, over time, you will not be happy. Not the same screen brightness, not the same anything. Alright guys, so what can I suggest to you? The only thing that I can suggest, you want to get an expensive phone, get a used, find it in a decent condition, get a decent iPhone 6 Plus or a 6S Plus, if you're going for a large device, don't go for this. You're not going to be happy with it, and I can almost guarantee you this. If you're really trying to prank your friends, that's probably the way to go. And by the way, guys, this video is a contest and it's a giveaway. So post your comments down below, and the best comment will actually earn this device, and I will ship it to your home address. Now, as always, thank you for watching. This was Ed with Aquarium. I'll see you in my next video very soon. I wanted to tell you about sellcashier.com. So you just got your new iPhone. What will you do with your old one? You may be thinking of selling it on eBay, Craigslist, and so on, and it is definitely a hassle. Now you don't have to do that. Now you can sell it through sellcashier.com. They compare the actual prices of iPhones and give you the best price for your iPhone that you are trying to sell, and the good thing is that you are guaranteed the best rate, and you also get a free shipping label. Thank you for watching, and please check out sellcashier.com.